You're watching QTV broadcasting from Banjul, the Gambia. This is the news at 8. First, our top stories. Commercial drivers express concerns over Gambia Bridge. Some detainees in the remand wing of the Mile 2 Central Prison perform homosexual acts, alleged Commissioner Jatta. A symposium on the Gambia's health system held. Those are our top stories. I am Babu Karsi, and now the news in detail. The inauguration of the Gambia Bridge on Monday appears to be received with mixed feelings from residents and vendors who depend on the multi-million-dollar project. For decades, crossing by the ferry seems to be the only option for passengers and their goods. The bridge seems to provide an alternative and would ease transportation. Mamadou Gajaga visited the area and he now reports.
Vehicles spend days, sometimes weeks here before crossing with goods by the ferry due to congestion. The truck drivers wouldn't talk to us on the record because they are camera shy. But you could see the excitement on their faces now that a more reliable means of crossing is available for them. This crossing point is used by thousands of passengers from Senegal crossing into the Gambia before reaching the southern region of Casamance. On the other hand, Gambians both from the north and the south banks equally use the same route but encounter lots of frustrating moments. On this crossing, our only problem is about the garage. Those who cross by the ferry had to hire small commercial vehicles to take them to the other side. But since the bridge is an option, that means we have no job. We will lose our business. The best thing that could happen for us is the government to come to our aid. There are more than 300 commercial vehicles that are at this garage. So if the authorities can help us with an alternative, that would be great. Imagine having 2 wives and many children and you lose your job. Only Allah can be our savior. This bridge will have serious effects on our livelihoods as taxi drivers. But I also accept the fact that one man's food is another man's poison. It is for the greater good of the people, but not for us. We commute passengers who cross from Soma and we take them to Farafenye. So meaning if the bridge is operational, we can't work anymore. In fact, the taxi business is not lucrative. It is more or less a means of sustenance for us. Myram Jallo sells sweets and describes her situation as worrying after the bridge inauguration. We get our survival here. I have children to take care of. If I stop selling here because of lack of customers, I don't know what to do next. However, Myram still has faith in God to be her aid in difficult times. Despite the uncertain future about her business, she hails the construction of the Gambia Bridge. Mahandoy, a Senegalese driver, said the bridge will ease their transportation. I've been here for hours waiting, but still can't cross to the other side. The bridge is going to be a blessing for us. It will really ease transportation. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
Commissioner Babukar Jatta of Janjanbureh prisons on Tuesday testified as the 9th witness at the ongoing public hearings of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission. In delivering his testimony, Jatta gave an account on medical treatment he offered to detainees in the aftermath of the 1994 coup, November 11th, and the alleged Katong attacks detainees. QTV's Ansumana Eso Nyasi is covering the TRRC proceedings.
Appearing before commissioners of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission, former Mile 2 medic and now commissioner in charge of Janjanbureh prisons, Babukar Jatta, today testified as the 9th witness at the ongoing TRRC proceedings. He was testifying in relation to medical treatment he offered to detainees of July 22nd and November 11th, 1994, and the infamous Katong attack. Asked to give a narration of the state of the prisons before and after 1994, the witness said there has been little or no progress so far.
Before 1994, to me, the general condition of the country was stable. We executed our duties We don't involve in any political thing or either to put on any political banners, either T-shirts.
Can we move on to the general condition of the prisons? Can you tell us what the condition of the prison was in terms of the accommodation, the food?
The general condition of the prison is poor as anything, even at the time of Jawara up to date.
I am leaning more towards what the health conditions were, for example. How were they in terms of just their physical health?
Just their physical health. It was very bad because the diet is very bad in those days. There was a common disease called beriberi because there is no inadequate protein in their diet.
On the severity of injuries the first batch of detainees sustained after they were allegedly tortured, he said the injuries were serious.
Generally, some come with, like as I said, multiple injuries, bruises. At some point, some of them, it was difficult even to move. They have difficulty when walking. I saw that from them.
Do you know what difficulties they had? Do you know why they had difficulties moving or walking?
They were brought like that. I don't know whether at the time of their arrest, that's the time they got that problem, I don't know. But I never saw them being tortured in my presence, but they were brought like that.
So these injuries were sustained outside of the prison?
Yes.
Concluding his testimony, the witness decried the condition of the various detention centers in the country and urged for reforms of the entire prison service. Ansumana Esonyasi for QTV News.
After a break for decades, the people of Janjanbureh Island in the Central River region over the weekend staged the second edition of the Janjanbureh Kankurang Festival. The revival of the Kankurang Festival is part of efforts to preserve cultural heritage and boost tourism in Janjanbureh, thereby creating new economic opportunities for young Gambians in the area. Omar P. Jallo has more.
The Kankurang, a masquerade tradition associated with the rite of passage or initiation into manhood, is practiced by Mandinka communities in the Gambia, Senegal and Guinea-Bissau. This initiation is a way of graduating the youth to full membership of their communities by learning the importance of community living.
I believe, and it's my strong belief, that a country's strength and its power is not measured by its military strength or economic strength. I believe the power of a country or a nation, it is measured by its ability to preserve, protect its past, and use it as an inspiration for national development. The stronger you are, the better you become. And in this, we can quote the Chinese, we can quote the French, and many other people who strongly believe in culture. And we are losing that. But this government is conscious of that. And that's why we are firm and very decisive in making sure that we'll do the right thing to give back Gambians what belongs to them.
The 2019 edition is believed to be a success, as youth capitalize on the revenue-generating opportunities on terms of hospitality, sales of food, clothing, and tour guiding services for the many tourists that were there.
In 2018, the NCAC again stretched the collaboration with YEP to assist in organizing the first edition of the Janjanbureh Festival. NCAC trained the local organizing committee on basic events management and festival management, which my colleague Omar Jallo was doing, to put them on good footing to organize the festival. It was again done this time around for the second edition. NCAC has also prepared promotional materials for the festival to sell it far and wide. All told, therefore, the YEP, that's YEP NCAC collaboration, has been good and has generated a win-win situation. The NCAC has become even more relevant in the National Development Plan agenda framework, and the YEP too has seen positive results in its mandate.
Organizers said the festival will now be an annual event as part of a large initiative to empower the youth of the Central River region.
Community-based tourism was launched on this island, and the idea of launching community-based tourism is still to help create employment for young people and also expand the experiences of visitors on this island and the Central River region as a whole. And the process involves training of 5 active youths who came from this island here, Janjanbureh, and that includes myself and other 4 young people. And apart from that, there were 2 other villages that were identified. That is the community of Jamali in Central River Region North and the community of Tabanani as potential destinations for community-based tourism.
The Youth Empowerment Project, funded by the EU through the European Union Emergency Trust Fund in collaboration with the National Center for Arts and Culture, the Gambia Tourism Board, and the Association of Small-Scale Enterprising in Tourism, attracted both local and international visitors.
We have identified the tourism sector as a very important, promising sector with a lot of potential. And particularly here in Janjanbureh, this potential is omnipresent. And you have heard already that it takes a lot to unlock this potential. It requires a lot of different initiatives and a lot of different areas of support. We have heard about the skills training that we had started through the Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute, and I'm very happy to report back to the governor. I vividly remember our first discussions when he told us, we appreciate and we welcome the support, but do not come here and do have boot camps. We need training centers here on the island. And I'm very happy to report back that after the statement of GTHI, the Director General, that an annex will be opening up here on the island, here in Janjanbureh, to continue to train young Gambians in an institutionalized way.
The way this festival is organized is creating indirect temporal jobs for the youth. For example, behind us we have the Gambia School Market, which is also part of one of the projects we are working on with ASSET, to support youth in craft development, to create visibility for them, to create a platform where they can sell their product. Today, you have about 10 vendors who are joining us to the festival, selling their products.
Omar P. Jallo, QTV News.
A symposium on the state of Gambia's health system, which seeks to create awareness on the functions, achievements and prospects of public health in the Gambia, is part of a week-long event on public health hosted at the American International University on Tuesday. Ajibintu Drame reports.
Bakari Kinte, public health officer and one of the organizers of the event, highlighted the reason for organizing the event. He also lamented the challenges public health officers face, adding how the public health sector intends to implement strategies in making the public health sector more efficient and effective. He concluded by recommending ways to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Numerous challenges that public health officers do face, and then those ranging from their service delivery in terms of access to certain modern day technologies that are needed that public health officers will do in terms of their service. We also have challenges of other things that are necessary, like in case of where they are accessibility in communities in where they worked. Now the 6 building blocks that are necessary for people to understand that a vibrant health system, we have a lot of some of those challenges that are affecting public health officers. Now, one of them is the communities in which, because we know public health officers work in communities. So in those communities, they need access and also they need certain things that will help them in their service delivery. There are a reduction in certain health indication. That is, one malaria's indication is being reduced, though I may not likely tell you offhand what are the indications, but then we are almost at the elimination stage, as indicated by the National Malaria Control. Some of the diseases that are there we are also gone, and then we are on top of things like the surveillance system is so vibrant that even if there is an outbreak of, or there is a particular case that is identified in any part of the country, it is also visualized in other part everywhere.
Ibrahim Toure, Deputy Program Manager, Environmental Health, and a participant spoke on the importance of the knowledge gained.
This symposium will create a lot of awareness, and then we will map out way forward so that we can have a better health systems in the Gambia. After the events, we will try to implement the recommendations to the letter. It will help us to know where our gaps are and then solutions will be fine, and then we'll try to implement those solutions to the letter so that we can improve the health system.
Fatu Fofana, a public health officer and a participant, says the event has impacted her life and the people of the Gambia at large.
It has been very successful because yesterday we had the press briefing with different media houses, both the print and the TVs and all that. Create a lot of impact in not only my life, but in the life of a lot of people, especially the Gambian people. Because the Public Health Awareness Week, it's a week that is designed to create awareness on some of the issues or some of the challenges and also some of the successes that the public health has done in the country and both in the world. Yeah, so making people aware of what public health officers are doing, I think that is very much important, so that they will also participate and come together and for us to have a better and a healthy Gambia. This will help us to be able to help many people to come and know what public health is all about.
Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
More than 100 athletes participated in the maiden edition of the Senegambia Run for Integration. The marathon covered a distance of 320 kilometers between Farafenni and Dakar. The event was conceived by George Gomez with Camp Africa in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, including the Senegalo-Gambia Secretariat. Mamadou Gajaga traveled with the team, and this is his report.
The race wasn't only a sport, but would strengthen the existing ties between the two countries, according to the organizers. It took years of planning before finally taking off. One of Gambia's most seasoned sports administrators, George Gomez, who is the brain behind the idea, said the successful completion of the first edition is commendable.
It's been fantastic since we started. In Kaula, in Moor, and now in Dakar is really fantastic. And I like the ambience, the relationship between the teams, the understanding, the friendship that has been created throughout these 3 days. It's really been fantastic. To me, the unity of the youth. But if you're talking about integration, you cannot achieve real integration if you don't involve the youth. Integration must start from the youth. And activities like this would bring the youth together, would bring understanding and friendship. And that would grow with the youth to adulthood. And unless the youth are involved at this level, we will never achieve the integration we are talking about.
For the runners who participated, it had become an unforgettable experience.
I'm very happy to say that because it is the first time in Africa and it is the longest distance in Africa. So I personally, to represent that, I am so glad. And I am encouraging my other people that we are not able to come. I'm encouraging them to come, to keep on training, because for them not to give up, because great things takes time before it happens. So I want them to push on, because there is time for everything. I'm so
thank God, and we are very, very happy, and my fellow athletes. It was a long journey, and I was in the front, number 10, to end the baton. But my team members behind were complaining about the road. But they said that there was a mix-up road congestion. So for them, they are strangers here in Senegal. They don't actually know the road. So the Senegalese team, they just capitalized on that to open a very big gap. So the time the first man take the baton, it goes more than 3 minutes before I catch up the baton. But thank God, with my speed and my fight, I able to close it, but unfortunately I couldn't get him. Yes. Yeah, we are very happy about our position, because we come out with first, we come out with second. And such kind of competition, you fight to come with second. We are very happy. By the help of God, with our coaches, our captain, our Lieutenant Jeng, so we are very happy on Gambia and Forces to come out the second position. It was a very, very hard journey.
The Senegalese Army Athletics team, ASFA, won the first position. Gambia Armed Forces finished second, and the Gambia Police Force came third. The athletes presented their trophies to both President Adama Barrow and Macky Sall at the inauguration of the Gambia Bridge. If the Senegambia run for integration continues with 2 more editions annually, it will qualify to be in the Guinness Book of Records for being the longest relay in Africa and the 2nd longest in the world. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
Before we end this bulletin, a recap of our top stories. The inauguration of the Gambia Bridge on Monday appears to be received with mixed feelings from residents and vendors who depend on the multi-million-dollar project. For decades, crossing by the ferry seems to be the only option for passengers and their goods. The bridge seems to provide an alternative and would ease transportation. Commissioner Babukar Jatta of Janjanbureh Prisons on Tuesday testified as the 9th witness at the ongoing public hearings of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission. In delivering his testimony, Jatta gave an account on medical treatment he offered to detainees in the aftermath of the 1994 coup, November 11th, and the alleged Katong attack detainees. A symposium on the state of Gambia's health system, which seeks to create awareness on the functions, achievements and prospects of public health in the Gambia, is part of a week-long event on public health hosted at the American International University on Tuesday. That's all for this edition of the News Bulletin. I've been your host, Babukar C. Thanks for watching. Good night.